welcome back to part 3 of the Amati HMS bounty. And as you can see, I have sanded now the completely hull with the 60 grit sandpaper. More is not needed because it's only the first layer of planking. So for this part it's important that you get out the form of the hull and not a super finish. And it was not really easy because the first layer was a 1.5mm by 6mm hardwood, I believe. That is really hard to sand and also to shape the hull, but finally I got the shape. So what we will do in this part now is to attach the bow and the stern section of the keel and also the center keel. What there's also a thing, it's a 4x4 millimeter walnut stick, and this is a 5mm solid hardwood. So means there's a difference between the center piece and the bow and stern section of 1mm. What means we have to plank also the center piece of this keel. After that we will install the 0.5 by 4mm second layer of planking, and I will make only pictures so that you get an impression of how to do this.
I need an angel to save me from myself, holding my savior to keep my heart upon a shelf. Do you remember the things we said, things we felt, falling forever?
So here we have our hull completely planked with the second layer of planking, and you see that I only sanded it with the coarse sandpaper. That's right after the installing the second layer of planks. And for comparison, I also made the other side. I finished it already completely sanding and put the first layer of sanding sealer. This one I have to sand now again with a 360 grit sandpaper. Before I'm doing this, I will also sand the other side flush and put also sanding sealer, and then I will sand the whole hull so that we can install the rubbing strips. There's one important thing to say about planking the hull. It is very important that the first layer of planking gives you the correct shape of the hull. So because the second layer is only with 0.5mm plank, so you have no chance to sand out any bumps or dents or whatever. So the first layer of planking has to be 100% correct, so that when we install the second layer of planking, we have already the complete shape of the hull and we only have to sand it flush. That's the very important thing. So we'll sand now this all and then I will come back. Okay, so here we have the hull with the rubbing strikes or wheels or whatever is the correct title for these pieces there and there and there. And there's already the next problem, what is misdeclared in the instruction, because these lower parts are declared as part number 49 and 50. And in the list of materials it's 2x2 walnut strips, what actually cannot be, because that's a 2x2 and that's a 2x2 and that's a 1x2, and you see it in the box set and also on the drawings that this is much wider. So what I used was the 1.5 by 6 millimeter planks, two pieces of them, and that's the what we use for the first layer of planking. Anyway, so you always come to a point on when you're building a kit with what has some issues, that you can say, yes, now it's finished and it's going smooth and whatsoever. No. This part, this kit has so many issues, I think it will never stop. The next thing what we attend is the stern castle, and these are the kits, the parts what has to put there on the stern. What is the base for this footer edge part. So the instruction tells you to put this behind this footer edge part, and I don't know if you can see this, it's absolutely out of shape. However, with a lot of fantasy and whatsoever, it simply does not fit. And the other thing are, these are the side parts, and the instruction said you have to shape it in the form of the hull. And if you put this already on the side, what look more or less like this, you can see that there are a lot of materials missing. So whatever you want, you will do, I think it will be impossible to install it, in my opinion. I don't know. So this will be also the last part but we attend in this part 3, and how I try to solve this we will see in the next video. Okay, let us stop here part 3, and I'm not sure if the construction of the stern castle is historical correct, because whatever you do, you Google it or you compare it with other kits, it's always different, and this construction gives me the best solution for the problems I think has this kit, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. Anyway, the only thing what I know is that this vlog is going more and more to a talk show, because this kit has so many issues that I can't stop talking about it. I don't know if you like it or not, let me also know in the comments. In the next part we will surely attend the deck planking, what is also a time consuming job, and up to then, stay tuned and see you there.